Hello golfing fans, welcome back to the channel. Brought to you in association with betting.co.uk. I'm Ginger Joe and I'm back with my weekly golf selections for you to take a look at. And in this episode alone, we've got just the one event to turn our attentions to on the PGA Tour, where we've got the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. We've got the St. Jude's Championship at TPC Southwind, and I can't wait to see how this one unfolds. There's a £20 million purse for the field this week, and the winner gets $3.6 million. But there's also loads of world ranking points on offer. So this is a really prestigious event, and I can't wait to get stuck into this in just a moment. Before we do though, if you're new to my channel, please do hit that subscribe button. It does help me out a great deal, and I'm on a mission to get to 3,000 subscribers by the time the jump season starts, and I'm not too far away now. It's completely free to do so. I do really appreciate everybody that can just click that button below this video. Also, just a little bit of a background about myself. I'm an ex-tour professional, so I've got some playing experience on some various tours, and I'm now putting that knowledge to good use by trying to find you the best players that are best suited to the golf courses that we take a look at on tour every single week. It's gone pretty well so far this year. We're currently at 816 points profit to level stakes, and even though we had a very bad week last week, which was actually the worst of the year, I've got 4 selections for you to take a look at in this episode alone, and I'm really excited by their chances this week as well. I really do think we can get ourselves back into the winners' enclosure with some nice selections. Now, taking a look ahead to next week, we'll be back in action on the DP World Tour. It's been away for about 4 weeks now, but we do have the ISPS Handa Championship, a really good event and my favourite tour as well to actually punt on. I really do like it on the DP World Tour, really competitive, and they're not just these shootout courses, not just long straight courses with flat putts all the time. They're really tough tracks. It makes it really competitive, and I think this is the best place where you really should start to get stuck into your selection. So I'm really looking forward to have the DP World Tour back next week, and we can obviously get stuck into those cross-tour doubles again as well. But if we move on to the selections then for this week, number 1, we're heading back to the winner of the US Open who landed for us at 80 to 1, and that is going to be Wyndham Clark at 33 to 1. As mentioned, this is a real ball strikers course, and he is definitely that. He won the US Open, and he was really impressive in doing so as well. He fended off a late charge from McIlroy. He's now up to world number 11, and deservedly so. He's a really good ball striker, and I love his shape of shot. He plays a really strong fade, but what that means is that when he gets pressure on, there's no chance for him to go all soft and back up and not necessarily commit to his shots. He must obviously always ensure that he commits to his shots because he's hitting that left to right ball flight, and that obviously paid off really well in the US Open. I think that was the slight factor that got him over the line that day. Really impressed me for that tournament. So he's going to be unfazed by this situation, playing for such a big amount of money, such a valuable prize, and he just thrived the whole season as well. He's got better throughout. He had 3 top 5s in 5 starts before then winning the Wells Fargo, and then made a breakthrough in his major career as well by winning the US Open just a couple of weeks later. It was a really impressive couple of weeks, and he has actually continued to improve since then as well. He's a very good player. He's got 2 wins on tour already this year, and I reckon we could see him pick up another one of these big events before the season's out as well. I know he handles the pressure really good off the tee, very good iron player. As long as he's rocking that putter well, I think he's going to have a really good chance. So that's Wyndham Clark at 33 to 1. Selection number 2 is Max Homa at 28 to 1. Straight away, my favourite attribute about Max is his long iron play. A very good player with his long game, and he's got a really smooth swing. Not a lot can go wrong with his simple sort of style of swing as well. I think it's a very consistent sort of way to go around his business. He'll hit plenty of greens this week in regulation, so he's bound to get plenty of chances for birdie, and he's actually really good with his short game as well. I could see him going very close here on that basis alone, but I also could just see him picking up one of these big prizes. Again, he's got the right temperament for this as well, and I think winning an event like this, I could see him playing well completely this week, and then that will give him the confidence to go in and try and win himself a major next season as well. He's won twice this season as well. He's won the Fortinet and the Farmers. Played pretty well since then. He's starting to become a really well established player. So selection number 2 is Max Homa at 28 to 1. Selection number 3 is Denny McCarthy at 70 to 1. Now, I am taking a slight chance on him here, but he's a very good player that hasn't yet won on tour, but he sort of finds himself in a similar position to Wyndham Clark before he won the Wells Fargo Championship. Denny's also a player, looks destined to win on tour, hasn't quite managed to get it done just yet, which is a little bit surprising, but it would be quite typical before the end of the year if he came and won one of these big prizes. It would be no surprise to see him picking up this trophy. He does play well at these longer courses as well. That's an absolute given, completely completely proven if you go for his stats. He's got a bunch of top 20 finishes this year as well. He's a very worthy contender in this field. You can get 80 to 1, but I've got him at 70 to 1 with 7 places. And I've got a really good feeling that you could have a big week for this St. Jude's Championship. And then my final selection is Sam Burns at 30 to 1, a 27-year-old. He's already won 5 times on tour, including the match play this year, where he played really, really well to get a job done that time out. He scraped into his squad this week over Jason Day. He was the next player on my list, but his injury worries on Jason Day just seemed to put me off every single week. I know we had him at the beginning of the season. In fact, it was more like May time when he won for us at 18 to 1, but I'm just slightly put off by him this week. But Sam Burns, though, he is the one that just sneaks in ahead of him. He's a very consistent player, goes under the radar a little bit despite being just 30 to 1 here. I don't think there's too many players talking about him, or too many pundits talking about him, but he is actually very long off the tee. He's got a really solid iron game as well. As mentioned, you're going to need to be very good tee to green this week. Sam Burns ticks those boxes, and I think what's detrimental to his chances as well is that he starts well. I think if he starts well in this tournament, then Sam Burns can just continue to flourish throughout the week, and he will be my selection number 4. Okay, so I'll just to recap those selections for you. We've got Wyndham Clark at 33 to 1, Max Homer at 28 to 1, Denny McCarthy at 70 to 1, and Sam Burns at 30 to 1. That's all for 7 places, and hopefully we can get ourselves a nice return on those selections. So they're the 4 selections for the FedEx this week, the St. Jude's Championship. I will also have some Live Golf selections and some selections for the AIG Women's Open over in my Ginger Joe Extra group chat. And if you're interested in joining, drop me a message on Twitter and I'll send you the details of what you need to do to come over and join in on the action. You get early access to all of my tips, you get bonus footage and content, and we've also started doing daily jumps blogs where we review 3 jumps race horses for the race season ahead, and we also run loads of prize giveaways every single week as well. Okay, so thanks everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It does help me out a great deal. Good luck with your bets, and of course drop me a comment below and let me know who you fancy for this week as well. Thanks for tuning in again. I'll see you all real soon. Bye for now.